Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're returning, and this is my Flosstube number 45. It's been about 4 months I think since my last video, and I have a lot to show you, so this is probably going to be a very long video, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. I have some whips, works in progress, some finishes, and some plans. If you're new, this is a channel about cross stitch. I'm going to throw around some terms. I'll try to define them. So for example, whip is work in progress as I say them, but I might forget. So if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. Let's get started. So since my last video, I worked on a bunch of things and I'm going to show them all to you now. The first is Raven Queen by Mirabilia. And I am stitching this on my handy dandy cheat sheet here on a 28 count London Fog linen by Under the Sea Fabrics, and I started this in October of last year at the Mirabilia retreat. And I'm going to hold it up side by side and insert a photo of what it looked like last time. So this is what she looks like now. See, I finished, I think, her arms. I don't know if I backstitched them yet. I did. Oh, wait, no. No, I didn't backstitch her arms yet. But I finished this, which I'm doing 2/1, like half cross continental, and did a lot of the black in her dress and arms and the crow. So, and I don't know if I pointed this out, but at the Mirabilia retreat, I did get Nora Corbett to sign this one, which was awesome. Try to be a little bit neat as I put things back. So that was number one. Second thing I worked on is The Castle by Teresa Wentzler, which I am stitching this one on. Where is it? 32 count Mercedes Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I started this in March of 2019. This particular project, I mean the design, like all of Teresa Wentzler's dragons, is out of print. Let me show you side by side with the last time. So this one I am stitching with a Kreinik blending filament conversion. Not really conversion, but it was on her website where she kind of suggested some blending filament that you could add to the piece to give it a bit of sparkle. So I did that. And you know what? I brought this thing up and forgot that I even have it. So kind of zooming in a little bit on the dragon. It's only in the dragon, not the castle. But since last time, as you can tell, I've worked on all the rocks here and the trees, which I really enjoyed. And it's all blends too, almost. The only things I have left are the remainder of the dragon's tail, which kind of comes around here, and a little bit of rocks underneath. And then I'm done. But close anyway. I don't want to say I'm done yet, because that's like bad luck. But anyway, I love this piece. I wish they weren't out of print, so more people could buy them. Next up, I have another Mirabilia. This one, I have this in plastic because it's also super out of print. This is Queen of Freedom. Also, Nora signed it. I started this one on January 20th of 2021, and I'm stitching this on 32 count Lugana and We the People printed fabric from Fabric Flare. So this one, I'm going to back it up a little bit, but is getting to the bottom. Here I'll show side by side with the where I was last time. And kind of zooming in. So I worked on all this white and the I think I did a bit of the stars too. Well, this white part of her dress and these like grays as well as some of the flag. There's still more flag and then a trim that goes around the bottom yet. I have to say this part was extremely boring. It was all like the 451, 452, 453, and a lot of white. But I like the way she's turning out, and yeah, coming along well, I think. Next up, let me put her away. I don't know why, but my light likes to go out from time to time, so I might have to pause it frequently. Next one I worked on is the Accolade, and I'll insert a picture here of what the mock-up is. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's Arts of the Antiquities, so public domain stuff. This is the Accolade by Edmund Layton, and it is on a 28 count Jobelin. I started it in February of 2020, and so this one I just finished a page, so I'm using Pattern Keeper and a big piece of fabric. Only thing I did was this page right here, which is page number 17. So I finished the top 2 rows of pages, and I haven't actually stitched on this one in like 2.5 years because I don't know, I just wasn't motivated by it. But after, I just kind of wanted to see do I still like full coverage, and the answer is yes, I do. Even though this wasn't like a very exciting page, it's just kind of a blurry chair. And some of those same 451, 452, 453 colors that are in the last one that I worked on. But I do like taking this out and just looking at her face because it's so pretty. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Like, I don't know. And the next 3 or so pages do get really interesting. So yeah, this is fun. And this does have some of the Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure braid in like some of the sparkly parts of her crown and dress and stuff, and up here too, but I guess where it's just like white to give it a little bit of extra sparkle, which is nice. So, answer my question, do I like stitching on this? Yes, I do. So it'll probably come out again soon. Turn it a little bit neat here. Just a second, I heard my kid. I'm gonna go check on him. Okay, all is well. My son, who's 13, just like made a loud noise, but he does that a lot. So he's just playing with the cat. Next up is one of my oldest whips. I think it actually is my oldest whip. Yeah, it's my oldest whip. I started in May 4th, Star Wars Day 2018, probably for Stitch Maynia. And I am stitching, it's called 12 Days of Christmas by Teresa Wensler. This one's still available on Patterns Online. I'll insert a picture here of what, like high level. But I finished the 3rd day, which is here. So, the French hen. So I don't know if I had a one from last time, I'll put it side by side because I had only done the bottom half of it. And I used in Pattern Keeper, there's a way that you can take a picture of a paper chart and use it to track your stitches. And since it's very confetti like through, I mean, it's all 1/1 on 28 count. It's very confetti heavy. So I found that to be really nice feature, even though it can't like look up the symbols like you normally can in Pattern Keeper, but I'll show you other ones too. So, well, this one I'll be doing next. It's the 4th day because I'm doing them in order. I had the border done already. I did that for like a whip go a couple of years ago. And this is the 1st day. I did that one first, obviously. Partridge in a pear tree. And we also have 2 turtle doves. Well, just one, but a turtle dove. So put that away now. Anyway, I think I said this, but it's on a 28 count Monaco, which I bought at a fabric store. I think it's ivory colored too. I bought it at a fabric store. I think I bought it at like Joann's a while ago, and unfortunately you can't really get Monaco anymore, which kind of sucks because I liked it. So anyway, those are my works in progress. Next up, I have 2 finishes since my last video, so I will show you those now. The first one is my smalls for StitchCon, my smalls exchange piece, which I have fully finished here to show you. I guess it's possible that you're watching this and you happen to get my small. By the way, I'll be at StitchCon Weekend B. Come say hi if you're going to be there this year. I didn't go last year because I lost my job, and I didn't want to, you know, spend money that probably was optional money to spend. But I still went down to visit my friends because it's in Cincinnati, which is like a 3-ish, 4-hour drive from my house. But this year I am definitely going. But yeah, Weekend B. I'm also going to Grace Notes Retreat in August. So if you're going to be at that one, come say hi too, please. But anyway, for the smalls exchange piece, yeah, you might pick it, but you won't see the things. They'll be in like bags, decorative bags and stuff like that. So I decided to work on this. I bought this kit, Tiny Modernist. I think it's called Make Your Own Magic. Just a little unicorn. I thought it was cute. I changed it up quite a bit though. So here's mine. So I changed the most obvious thing is I changed the words to say be yourself. I changed the font as well. It was just a simple block text, and I wanted it to be a little bit more fancy than that. I also modified a little bits and edges of the unicorn to make it smoother around the back stitching. So I kind of don't like it so I made some fractions basically. And I finished this into a like circular ornament Vana style. I love the Twisted Stitchers tutorials. I don't do much finishing, so whenever I need to do something small, it's really good to look at her stuff. But yeah, I also made cording from her thing. So if you get this, you can hang it on the wall, or I'm also gonna gift it with this little plate stand thing. So if you want to, you can like put it out on a table. See, like this. You know what I mean, right? See? So yeah, so people can decide what they want to do. I hope whoever gets that likes it. This was I believe you could just download the pattern online, but I bought it as a kit, which it came with the DMC and fabric, and I don't know what fabric this is. I think it's just like a pinkish lightly modeled thing, but so that was finish number 1. Start and finish a staff for you cross-stitch terminology people. Finish number 2 I don't have with me, but I had been working as of last time on Glory in the Morning by Crosswing Collection. So let's see, when did I start that? What's that on? All that stuff. It is on I don't know if it's 28 or 32 count. I think it was 28 count. Painted fabric by Crosswing, made especially for this piece because it's a very long piece and it's 3 of their different things. So I'll insert my picture here of my finish, and then I'll show you, since it's so zoomed out because it's so long, I'm going to insert a video here of me panning over it. And if you follow my Instagram, you'll have seen this. I don't really post much to Instagram, but vdancer0304, which is also linked in the notes below. So I started this piece at the top, and I've heard other people recommend starting it at the bottom because the top has the more interesting parts to it. But I found it still really, really fun to stitch, and I did it. I know it was never not motivated, even though it was all greens at the bottom. Lots and lots of, in the DMC 469 to 472 range of those greens for the giant sunflower leaves and stem. But I still found it incredibly motivating because I was like, okay, there's a piece. I want to do this leaf now, or I'm going to do these 2 flowers and these 3 leaves. And I like that it's very like realistic looking, and the butterfly, the bee, and the bird's eyes are all 1/1. I think it's charted both ways. So if you don't want to do it 1/1, you don't have to, but I did. I I don't know if you'd notice it really on the bird's eyes because it's just like substitution for like 1 or 2 stitches, and instead you get like, you know, 4 to 8 half or fractional, or not fractional, quarter stitches, you know. But I still like the look because usually you're not looking at the birds up close, but it's still, you can, and it still looks really nice. The one thing I did not like about this piece, or this pattern, is that there are, it's in like 10 pages, right? And there's no overlap. So usually when you have a multi-page pattern, there will be at least like 1 or 2 rows, sometimes 3 rows of the chart that overlap on each overlap section. And I sometimes had to like tape pieces together, or like count from the 10 blocks to figure it out. And I think I made numerous mistakes too, especially in the places where 4 corners met. So I wish, you know, I don't know if I could give any feedback to Crosswind Collection, but I wish that's the only thing I would change about this, because otherwise it's a beautiful design. And it is at the framer right now. Next video, maybe I'll have it back. I don't know. Unfortunately, she had to have surgery, so and I was like, take your time, you know. So it's because I took it a while ago, and I don't expect to have it back anytime soon just because of that. But that's totally cool. You know, I trust her, and I'm sure she'll do a really nice job. So I'll show that in my next video probably, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Those are my 2 finishes. Now, next up, I want to talk to you about my Maynia plans. So I don't normally do Maynia. I did it, as you could tell, with my my last piece that I showed, the 12 Days of Christmas. I started that in like Maynia 2018. So it's been like 6 years, right? I might have done something in 2019 as well. I don't remember. But I also don't have a whole lot of whips either. So I want to have more whips. And I'm kind of motivated right now by like big things. So I want to do 5 big starts. I don't want to start a new thing every day because I don't like to just put 1 day of progress in something, because I just like don't feel motivated by that. Usually I want to keep working on it, and then switching my project is almost demotivating to me. So what I decided is, since May has 5 Fridays, I'm going to start 5 things, 1 on each of the Fridays in May, and then working through the weekend. Usually I have a little bit more time and I can get more progress on it. And I feel like that's going to be like, you know, the fuel to get me through to the next Friday. So my goal is to put 1 week in on each thing, and then I'll make another video at the end of, at that also be a week into June approximately, showing you what all 5 of those things look like. I also made some rules for myself because I have a ton of stash, more than I'd like to admit. I've achieved Sable, stash beyond life expectancy, more stash than I would like to admit, but I want to stitch on things where I don't have to buy anything to get started. You know, maybe I'll need some like beads or some fancy floss or something like that, and that's okay as long as I have enough to get started. So I need the chart, I need the fabric, and if it's DMC, that's okay because I just keep a master stash of DMC. I don't keep that with my projects, unless, or if it's a kit, that's okay, obviously, because that'll have everything you need. If it's only fancy floss, I don't have any of those, but if it was, then I would need like enough floss to get started. So those are kind of like my rules. Those, and they have to be on my stitching bucket list, or my Stitch Before I Die list. If you don't have one and you stitch, I highly recommend it because it helps me focus anyway. And I'm looking at this thing all the time. Even though some of these are things that I acquired years ago, I still look at them like, oh, I really want to stitch that. So, but I also don't want like 100 whips. And more power to you if you do have that many. I have what, like 10 right now? Wait, no. I have 9. I think. I have 9 whips, and adding 5 will be 14. That's not too bad. And I also, yeah, so those are my rules anyway. I want to have this, I have it in my stash, and I want to have it be on my like Stitch Before I Die bucket list. The other thing is too, I want to try to vary up my whip list a little bit. So my favorite designers, if you couldn't tell, are Teresa Wenser and Mirabilia. I already have 2 of each of those, so I didn't include any Teresa Wentzler's or Mirabilis. I figure when I finish those, I'll start new ones and all as well. So I picked things that like categories. So each of the 5 weeks, I'm going to do a different category of something. And it's something different just to vary up my website. So we're going to do a little bit of a stash dive here. This part might take a while. And if you don't like this sort of thing, you can leave, but I enjoy it. By the way, if you wanted me to do a stash dive of my Teresa Wentzler's or my Mirabilis, let me know. I have a lot of those, although not as many as some others I've seen. So I've got my computer here because I made some notes. So the first category of things that I want to start is a Bella Filipina. Bella Filipina, if I could talk. These to me are so beautiful. I've never stitched one though. There's a bunch on my I want to stitch before I die list, but there's only 2 that I really have fully kitted enough with the fabric and the chart. And so I'll show this to you here. The first one is, I'm going to insert a picture because I only have the digital chart. It's called Mermaids of the Seasons. It was released last year in a collaboration with Fiberlicious, where you could get the fabric from Fiberlicious. And I think I even bought the chart through Fiberlicious too. I bought everything because I'm like, oh, I love mermaids and I like Bella Filipina. It's not giant. Oh yeah, another criteria for my new starts is they have to be big things, because small things I don't really feel like there's a barrier to me starting them. So usually I'll just like the Stitch Con small, for example, or Christmas presents. Occasionally I'll just okay, I'm gonna start a little Christmas present for somebody. But the big things, usually it takes a lot to push me to start, so I'm kind of forcing myself here to start some big things. So I have this big bag. My Bella Filipinas. Okay, so this one, Mermaids of the Seasons Stitch Along, which I didn't start. It was once a month they released a new mermaid. But yeah, from Fiberlicious, I bought the thread pack and the bead pack, and the fabric, which is called Singin' in the Rain, which is so pretty. I like the blues. Yeah. So that is one option for my Bella Filipina Mania start. The other one is, I'll try to put this back in an orderly fashion as best I can. The other one that I might start is this one, which I don't know exactly how to say her name. It's Amphitrite? Amphitrite? But anyway, I love her. She's huge. I love that there's a dolphin and a turtle and what else? All kinds of creatures in here. An octopus, fish. I love that she's a mermaid. I love everything about this. So I have for the fabric, what did I get? I forget. Okay, color and cotton, I got sea glass. I'm assuming this is a fat half because I think that's what I need for this. Yes, it is a fat half. So sea glass, color and cotton. And I also bought all of the called for stuff things, all the beads, the Karen water lilies and Krynic. So why not start on these things, right? It was not an insignificant investment into my stash. So those are the 2. I'm gonna pick one. Not sure what yet. If you have thoughts, I'm curious what you think. If you have stitched these, I'm curious to see too. Okay, so category number 1 done. Next category, and I don't know what order I'm gonna start these in either. The second one is chatelaine. I've never stitched a chatelaine, but I'm watching a lot of Fiber Arts Amy and Kitty Whips lately, and they do some beautiful work and encouragement too. So I might join their Wednesday thing too. I need to reach out to them, their Zoom. Anyway, yeah, I have 2 that I have, I think, fully kitted now. I'm kitted enough to start. I bought the digital, the PDFs from the chatelaine.de website. They are so pretty. I mean, I've seen some stitched up. I don't know if mine's gonna be pretty, but and I just really, really want to start one. The first one that I have kitted up is Octopus Treasure Cave. So since I have digital charts, I'm going to be inserting the pictures up here. This one is, to me, it's super unique. Oh, interesting. I stuck needles in here. Usually I don't do that. I plan to stitch that on black fabric, which, I mean, it's not too interesting, right? Black, I think this is linen. Either linen or Jovelin, but black fabric, because I like the way that that looks for this particular piece. I ordered the bead pack from, I thought I did. Oh, here it is. From European Cross Stitch. So here's the bead pack for Octopus Treasure Cave. And I've been trying to slowly collect the fancy flosses myself, including the Glorianas, which I think I've managed to do. I'm pretty sure I've got enough to start this. I need to kind of go through and inventory it, but and there's a bunch in here. Oh, here's more fancy flosses that I bought. So just at various times I'll like order a couple here and there. I didn't buy the floss pack from European Cross Stitch, but I wish I did. But especially since I started ordering this stuff a long time ago, when by now I would have it. Okay, so the second chatelaine that I will choose from is Sparkling Peacock Mandala, which is here. It's much bigger. And I started this one much longer ago. I ordered the entire material stuff from European Cross Stitch, and I've opened it up to go through it, so it's not all beautifully bundled anymore, but it's still got it here, all the beads, there's a lot of them, and even more fancy flosses. And on this one, this is one that's giving me hesitation. I just have 28 count white casual linen. It's kind of boring. I might look through my fabric stash and see if I've got something that would fit this better. But that's making me kind of lean more towards Octopus Treasure Cave, and I want to get that sorted too. Anyway, so that's category number 2. The categories are only going to get bigger from here, I'm sorry. Okay, next up, this is going to be me doing a lot of editing because these are all digital. But my next category is full coverage. So I want to do another full coverage piece that I have as a whip. And while I love working on the Accolade, I want to have something to flip it up a bit. Like the Accolade is like certain colors always and a certain look and feel. And I want a little bit of variety. So, and by full coverage, I mean that like pattern keeper, everything's a regular stitch. There's no back stitch, which I don't mind back stitch, but I just like working on pattern keeper. It's like really fast and really easy. And you can make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. So, and I like a lot of the artwork. So let me go through my list here of things that I've narrowed it down to 9. So I'll kind of go through these quickly and just mention like the artist, designer, and any little bits of information I have about them. So the first one is, it's called Audrey Hepburn Nebula. The artist is Destiny Amber Lee, and it's charted by Tilton Crafts. This one is still available. Second one is Hobselwyn by Cirilo Cabral, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs or Hade. Unfortunately, this artist is not with Heaven and Earth Designs anymore, or Hade anymore. There were a bunch of artists that got dropped recently, and this, I think, was one of them. But I love dragons, so there's that one. I bought that one a couple years ago, I think. Third one is Mini Night Cafe. This is a smaller one by Leonid Afremov, also charted by Hade, Heaven and Earth Designs, and this one is still available. I got it as a freebie. There was a bunch that they were giving out around the pandemic, and like if you were just following their Facebook, they were just like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. I was like, okay. I think I downloaded all of them, although not all of them made it to my bucket list. So, but this one did. I think this one's pretty. I like the colors, and it's a mini, which is kind of nice. Not all of the ones I'm going to show you are that small, though. In fact, I think every single one is much bigger. Okay, the fourth one is Wind Moon Fairy. This is by Nini Thomas, also charted by Nini Thomas, and very much still available. Funny story about this one. My husband got this for me as a birthday present for me. My birthday was in March. And he knows that I like this artist, and he does too. And so he's like, let me pick out one that I think she would like. And so he looks through and he picks this one up because it has a cat on it, and he knows it looks like our old cat, Hermione. And he just went and bought it for me. And he's like, oh, thinking, oh yeah, I can return that, not knowing that, you know, when you buy a PDF chart, no, you can't return it. So he bought it for me, and he was like, happy birthday. He shows it to me. I'm like, oh, I already have that. Actually, no, I didn't have the exact same thing. I had the Dimensions Gold Collection kit that is similar, but I like the full coverage so much better. So it's much more detailed, much more bright and colorful, and well, it's not colorful. It's all blues and stuff like that, but it's more fine detail because it's bigger. I mean, you can do that when you get more real estate. So that's another one I'm considering. Number 5 is called Wonder Woman Warrior Princess. This is by Daniel Kordick, art charted by Tilton Crafts. This one is still available. Sorry, I should go through these a little more quickly. They don't all have stories. I bought it a while ago. Number 6 is Story Keep What I See by Melanie Delon, charted by Haid, Heaven and Earth Designs. This artist does not appear to be with Haid anymore. I bought this one a really long time ago. It's a story keep, so it's similar to a mini in that it's been shrunken down a bit, or a huge crop of the piece. And it is story keep, I think, means it's in the shape of a bookmark, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bit bigger than a bookmark would be. Next up is Athena by the artist Takaki, charted by Tilton Crafts. This one is no longer available. I bought it in the Facebook group. The designer, I think her name is Shelly, sent a message saying, you know, I have some more Takakis, and I love this artist. So I just reached out to her on Facebook Messenger, and she sold it to me there. So I don't know if it was ever on her website, but I recommend joining Facebook groups of of the designers you like, because that's the way to sometimes get things that you might not otherwise have access to. Next one is Deep Blue Sea by artist John Enright, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This one was also in that freebie batch. The artist, like that they were sending out around the pandemic, the artist is still with Haid, but the chart I could not find. But they have other beautiful, similar designs. This is a monster. This piece is the biggest piece I have in my Stitch Before I Die bucket list. So it's huge. So I mean, it's going to have a lot of detail, which is nice. The last one, number 9, is called Harmony by Ching Chao Quick. I don't know how to say the name, I'm sorry. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This was a freebie. I think it was a freebie that you could download directly from the website, heavenandearthdesigns.com. But the artist is still with Heaven and Earth Designs, but I could not find the chart, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to pick one of those for one of my starts. For one of the one of my full coverage starts. I'm not sure which one yet. Again, if you have any advice, feedback, what you would like to see, please let me know. Next up is, next category is a Dimensions kit. So I have pretty decent collection of Dimensions kits, and I'm not working on anything Dimensions right now, and I'm like, what the heck? So I'm going to pick one and start it. So I'm going to show you, these are all, you know, I don't have to edit here, fortunately. These are all my Dimensions kits that are also on my Stitchy bucket list. And I even narrowed that down a little bit, and I have 9 of them. So here goes. Take them out. They're all on the bigger side too. I didn't get any petites because, you know, those are smaller, although I might, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to, no particular order. This is Memory Lane. So I'm going to put them back in my little organizer thingy here. This is Rocky Point. I love all of these. Again, I had to narrow this down. Both of those are still available pretty easily, I think. But this one is not, I think. This is Southern Social. I don't know. Some of these I had a little bit of a harder time getting, and that was one. This one's really available quite a bit. Indian Peacock. It's not a gold. That's okay, though. That's not my criteria. It just has to be dimensions. This one is Japanese Garden. Also still very available. I don't know why the thing is white, but I'm pretty sure it's legit. I've seen other people chatting about that, but yeah, I like that one. My husband and I really want to go to Japan someday. This is Lakeside Village. My husband got me this one for Christmas last year. Still should be pretty available, I think. This one is Balloon Glow. Also quite available. This is Aurora Cabin. My sister got me this one for Christmas a couple years ago. Also still pretty available, I believe. I would also like to see the Northern Lights someday. Okay, last one. Victorian Charm. Also pretty available. This one's huge, by the way. Like, I think it's bigger than all the other ones. It's really tall. And it's not a gold, but that's okay. It just must mean it's not as, you know, complicated in the instructions, but it still looks like it's got quite a lot of stitching in it. So I'm going to pick one of those for my fourth. I don't know what order I'm going to do those in, but for the fourth one. Okay, my last category, and this is my biggest category of like things I got to choose from, is miscellaneous. That means everything else. It's just, you know, not from the other categories that I kind of bucket things into. So this is a whole other section here, and many of these, like, again, I probably like can just find the fabric if I don't have fabric paired with it already. So I might have to do that. Like, for example, so I have lavender and lace, Nantucket Rose. I don't have fabric associated with this yet, but I have a big enough stash that I think I could just find something simple and the right size. So that's one. Oh, by the way, I have 12 things here that I've narrowed it down to. Lavender and lace. This is Queen Anne's lace. These are so pretty. I've seen some of the, I don't think I've seen either of these stitched, but I've seen some lavender and lace ones stitched. They are really pretty. This is, my husband bought me this for Christmas a few years ago because I told him just give me anything on the Disney Dreams list, and I love Fantasia. So this is super out of print, unfortunately. It's the MCG Textiles kit, and I have heard a lot of people say that not to use the fabric or the floss from the kit, which, you know, I'm happy to do. There are conversions, so that's easy enough. I'll just convert to DMC and get another piece of fabric. But it's like full coverage, which I'm not counting this with the full coverage. One sec, my son just texted me. Okay, I'm back. So my son texted me, my younger son. He went to sleep over at a friend's house last night, and he texted me, "Come pick me up, Mom." So, of course, that means drop everything, go get him, just in case something was wrong. It was his first time sleeping over at this new friend's house, and all was well. He just didn't get much sleep, and I thought I was going to be picking him up much later. It's Saturday, by the way, so. Anyway, getting back to it, we were doing Stash Dive, and I showed you, I think, we're doing the last category of the fifth, I don't know if it would be number 5, but the fifth Friday in May of my start. So I did a couple already, and then I realized I'm going through my bag here, and I probably have like a couple that are digital charts, so where I don't have the actual thing to hold up in front of you. So let me go through and look at my list first and see if I have any of those to choose from. And if I do, I'll insert them and talk about them. So let's see. Okay, yes, I do have another one. And this one I have. Okay, that one I have there. Just one. Okay, so this is by, and I'm going to butcher this name. My apologies. I'll print it down below. But it's Nadezhda Gavrilenkova is the artist, and the design is called Sea Dragon. I got it off of their Etsy shop, but I believe there's also maybe a website, and I know, like, I think Charting Creations also does them as well. It's full coverage, so it'll work nicely in Pattern Keeper, or this particular one. I just had to enter each of the symbols in to get it to work, but it does, it's otherwise compatible. Okay, so that's the only one that I don't have a physical thing to show you. One of the other ones that I have is digital too, but I have like a kit stuff. So next up is a kit, it's a Reolist kit called Forest Dragon. If you've been with me for a bit, you know that I finished not too long ago the Phoenix, and there are other ones. There's a unicorn, and I think there's a griffin in this series, but this is a printed background. The fabric is printed, and you can kind of tell by looking at it here, but the fabric is printed background. You just stitch the dragon. And these are really fun. They're like on 14 count Aida. That's another one that I could do in my last category. Okay, so next one. This one is another digital chart that I have. And I've started to kit up some of the fancies and other things, but I know I haven't finished. This is called A Journey into the Deep by Passione Ricamo. And I have a Fiberlicious Mermaid's Grotto for that, and some, I know this is not all, but some of the fancy flosses and beads. I've never stitched a Passione Ricamo chart before either. So I think this one's really pretty, and I keep staring at it and thinking I want to stitch that. I love the little fish. It's going to appear that I'm all over the place. I'm very eclectic, I think. Although I don't really stitch samplers much. But anyway, the next thing, I've had this one kitted for a long time. This is Hooligan's Hangout by Glendon Place. This one is not too big, so I won't almost cut it from my list because it's not that big. But it's really cute, and the fabric is a printed fabric with the little ghosts on it. It was actually, made for this piece, or the piece was designed with the fabric in mind so that the ghosts appear in different places and they're not like all hidden. I mean, some might be hidden by like the moon and stuff. But yeah, so I purchased this a long time ago because there's a shop model of it in my LNS. And similarly, I bought for the moon, I wasn't sure. I bought a couple of silks to variegated silks. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to do the called for, which is the water lilies, but it has greens in it, which I was kind of going back and forth on. But the more I think about it, for a Halloween piece, you do want the moon to be green a little bit. So that's Hooligan's Hangout. So next up we have, what is this? Ooh, okay. This is Rainbow Row by Barbara and Cheryl. This is, I don't know if you can see that. It's like, there's a row of houses in Charleston, South Carolina. My husband and I loved, there goes light again. My husband and I love to go to Charleston. We've been there several times, even when we were dating from up till then. We've taken the kids there a couple of times. And I just love looking at the architecture. And there's a row of houses called Rainbow Row. We always pass it. And it's actually people's houses, but it's really pretty. And this chart, I think, is to represent that. I'm not sure exactly how accurate it is, but it might be. It's actually a really big piece. I have white fabric for it. I might change that or dye it slightly, but something I have been wanting to stitch for some time. Next up, ooh, this is a fun one. These are like, okay, so this is Guinevere by Nimiu. I have never stitched a Nimiu before, but I love this one. And there's a companion piece to this one too called Arthur. So I bought enough fabric. What did I get? Oh, this is who did this one? Fiber on a Whim. This is called Color Happens, or it's A Color Happens, meaning it's one of their, oops, I was trying to do something else, but it looks fine for this piece, I think, which, kind of on a neutrally one. But there's her companion to this one is called Arthur, which obviously King Arthur. And if I start stitching this and like it, I will probably go ahead and purchase that one too. The place I bought this from, I don't think they're around anymore, or if they have, they've changed their name. I bought it from, oh shoot, I forgot what the shop is called. An online shop, and I bought the, you know, the fabric, or the floss, some of the fancies from them as well. And I know Arthur has this too, but I don't know where to buy these in the US for Arthur. So anyway, I would like to get that one started, see if I like it, see if I want to do the other one. And how are we doing? Looks like I just have a couple more. Okay, good. This one I don't have a fabric yet, but I would probably just do it on like maybe white. This is Paris by Alessandra Adelaide. You can tell I like architecture a little bit too, right? Some of these. I have the beads for it, but it's just a couple of colors in it, but I think it's like size-wise pretty big, but it's pretty sparse, as you can tell too. So it might be quick. I don't know. And the last one that I have, also a digital chart, so I just have some of the things here to kit her up, is called A Lady Named Ella. And this was done by Ingleside Imaginarium, and she, it was like a free chart if you showed that you donated to a charity to benefit people of color, I believe. At the time, this was like right after all the George Floyd and Black Lives Matter stuff was going on. So I donated to a charity and reached out, and I bought, there's some beads for her, and I think I just have her on a white fabric just because it uses some of the negative space, so I'll have to like look at that a little bit more closely and think more if that's exactly what I want to do. But yeah, so that's all I have in terms of the things I might choose. Let me just look at my list to see if I didn't miss something. No, I got them all. So that was 12. Oh, wait, no, there's one more. Sorry, one more digital I missed. Sorry. This one is called Princess Mononoke by Elka Cross, or LK Cross. I've stitched a couple more of the Miyazaki-themed designs by this artist and designer. And I thought they were great. They're beautifully done, and I love Princess Mononoke. So this one is, it's not entirely full coverage, but I think it's meant to be stitched on a dark blue fabric. I have to double check that, but I need to, I'm pretty sure I have something that will work for it. And if it's full coverage, that's even better, because then I can stitch it on any color, but I'm pretty sure I have something that might work for that. Okay, so that should have been 12 then, I believe. Yep. I think I got them all. So I don't know which of those I'll pick yet for my miscellaneous category new start. And same for the others, although I'm kind of leaning towards a couple. But again, if you want me to see me do one, please give me a comment. I might have it picked out before you comment. So again, I'll be doing these on the Fridays in May, the 5 Fridays in May. So yeah, I am super excited about this, and I'm excited to share with you what I stitch in probably mid-June. You'll see another video from me with my results. So that's all I got. I hope you all have a nice Stitch Mania. And I hope that you're enjoying whatever you're doing, be it stitching or life or everything. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.